Welcome to Great Greys, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of Greyhound Racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 11th of September 2025. Hope you're all travelling particularly well. Looking forward to a busy show. We'll catch up with the Shane Train Williams. Jace Campbell will join us for a look at all the action for the evening of chasing upcoming up there at the Q2 Parklands, as well as in Hobart. We'll then catch up with Neil Brown, the Hall of Famer, to have a look at his thoughts for Sandown Park this evening. Sean Matheson will join us to talk all things South Australian Greyhound Racing, and really looking forward to our chat today with Simon Orchard to round it out. Tonight is the final night of chasing from Dapto, and it has been an absolute institution for Greyhound Racing, certainly in my lifetime. They've got the Megastar final there tonight. There's some of the legendary broadcasters that'll be calling races throughout the course of the evening. It'll be a great night of chasing, but also a slightly sad one as well, as we farewell one of the most famous greyhound racing tracks in this country in Dapto. So Simon Orchard will fill us in on all of the latest and what we could look forward to from the coverage there tonight. But without further ado, let's welcome in the man with the hot hand. He has been seeing them like watermelons over the course of this week. He went bingo, bango, bongo on Monday, around about 25-1, the treble. More of the same last night there at Cannington. We'll be hoping he can continue that on for the listeners here today for this program at Mandurah. Let's welcome in the Shane Train Williams. I'll throw in, trained a double to boot there last night and has the favourite for the spring gift. Things are all coming up Milthouse for the train at the moment. Welcome to you, Shane-o.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. Yeah, really looking forward to the weekend, Shorty. And yeah, you mentioned it just off there before, Dapto's last race meeting tonight. Very iconic track and be very sad. And be a lot of people there tonight. And I no doubt I think there'll be a fair few tears shed, no doubt. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, look, it's a place that certainly from when I started following greyhound racing really closely and having a punt, it's just been a staple on a Thursday night, the Dapto Dogs. We mentioned it earlier on the Sports Daily when we had a chat. It's been the scene that has really helped to boost the profile of the sport back in the 90s. When the NRL footy show was having crosses to the track back in that period of time, they had dogs racing for charity through that period of time. It got a lot of live free-to-air coverage for the sport at a time where that was one of the highest rating television programs in the land. And aside of that, some of the great broadcasters have called at the circuit, and some of the all-time great chasers have also gone around there on the soil at Dapto. So while it will be a sad night, it'll also be a great opportunity to reflect on some great moments over the years as well, Shane.
Yeah, you're right, Shorty. And just touching on that, the Rugby League has always supported greyhound racing. Even recently, Matty Johns featured there was a dog called Tiny Hands Johns that raced, and they got around it and had a bit of a laugh. But a quick funny story I was reading yesterday, Shorty, out of the Greyhound Recorder was Greg Wynn was the trainer at NADS, and he was the one that rang the footy show to try and get a dog going for the Westmead Children's Hospital, which the dog ended up raising $250,000 for, which is just outstanding. But I remember getting the dog and ringing the footy show up, and he trialled the dog on the Monday, Shorty, and it went terrible. And he rang the footy show up and said, I can't race this dog. I've got to scratch it. It just went terrible in the trial on Monday. And he said, no, you can't be scratching it. We've got all these promos ready to go. So there he was, putting the dog in box 8, and off a very slow trial, 1780, he came out and bolted in around 1703 on the night. So he was very relieved, and he was very shocked his jaw dropped. So, and he mentioned it, that the dog just knew the occasion, and he just went travelling with him all over Australia, up to Townsville and places like that. And like we said, the footy show just got right behind him. So it's one of my fondest memories of Dapto Dogs. But yeah, going there as a young kid, and they used to race in the twilight, Shorty, and then they'd have a night meeting as well. So sometimes you'd be stuck there all day, and you go to the pub or the club in between the meetings. And yeah, it's going to be a sad night for sure. And unfortunately, yeah, I would love to have got there, but yeah, just too busy here. But there's going to be a lot of people there, like you said, Paul Ambrosoli, Darren Flendell there calling races tonight, so you'll probably hear their dulcet tones through the night, which will be really good.
Yeah, definitely. And Simon Orchard later in the show will give us a rundown on exactly what the night looks like. You'll be able to follow a lot of it and feel like you're at the place tonight on thedogs.com.au. They'll be covering all the action, doing interviews and speaking to the crowd and a lot of the big names that'll be there trackside tonight. So while it's a sad occasion, let's celebrate the place. It's been very, very important for our sport of greyhound racing, and we'll give it a big farewell tonight there at the Dapto Dogs. Train, you've been seeing them particularly well this week. We've got a nice program to look forward to tonight at Mandurah. 12 races. The first gets underway at 5:34, and the first of your plays comes up in race 3, Greyhound number 1, Osprey Kronos for Brodie Kirby. Comes up with the inside marble here off a last start placing behind You See Me.
Yeah, it doesn't win out of turn, this dog, Short. He's only won one from the 20-odd starts, but he was really eye-catching in that defeat last week to the kennel mate. And I just thought the move into box 1 in what looks a very sort of a ordinary sort of a race, bit of an open sort of a race, I thought he could really get his chance tonight to make it win 2 at start 20-odd. So Brodie's done a fine job with his team, and he's got a lot of chances tonight, and I think we can kick this one off with a winner tonight for us, Shorty.
Okay, so we'll start with race 3, number 1, Osprey Kronos. You then team up with a greyhound that's dropping dramatically in class. I thought this looked an absolute standout in this grade, and we speak of race 6, number 3, Crackerjack Scud.
Yeah, his downgrade is unbelievable. Have a look at the dogs he's been racing, Sunset Ali and Surf the Sun and dogs like that. He's been racing in provincial free-for-alls, and he drops back to a country grade at 4-5. Good placement by Lexia Isaac and Mick Pollard there, and Mick doesn't mind a pun either, Shorty. So I'm tipping this dog would have firmed up at some stage throughout the meeting. And look, he's come from over from Melbourne. This dog, I remember him racing in some good races at Sandown as well. So massive downgrade, and I think it'd be hard to beat. The Red's going well. It won well its last start, but I think if he crosses that, it's game, set, match.
Yeah, tend to agree. Like Crackerjack Scud, and the money is there, 245 into 215. So Mickey has opened up that wallet of his, and when he decides to go, he normally goes well. So we'll get around race 6, number 3, Crackerjack Scud. And you're tipping a big night for Brodie Kirby, as you touched on. Race 11, number 1, Propulsive, is the third of your plays. This greyhound was a good winner from an inside draw, 2 back in 17-13. Something like that here would see it very hard to beat.
Yeah, I thought this was the best bet of the night, Shorty. This one, like you said, 17-13 will win this race quite easily. He did get defeated at his next start. He jumped really well on that occasion, and he just got outpaced by a few more dogs, and he ran third. It was still a good run there, but I just thought inside box where he's won 2 from 5, thought he got the chance to jump straight on the arm and get the job done and bring up a big night for Brodie. He's got a lot of chances in, and he could well have a big night, and hopefully he does for us.
Yeah, dog's won 4 of 9 track and trip, comes up with the inside, which allows the dog to just punch up and have nothing to worry about on its inside. So as long as it can hold out the outside division, Propulsive does look really well placed to bring up its 7th career win at start number 25 tonight. Train, obviously, the double there last night was really good for the camp, and you'll be hoping that the good times can continue on this Saturday night. We've got a wonderful lineup assembled for the Spring Gift Final. It should be a beauty, but your star Canine Iconic Jet is a box 1 bandit and has come up with the really good draw. Look, it's no walk in the park. West on Sydney, Transcendent Wise, Barra, Sunset Mirage, our Aussie Salute, Miss Envy, Timmy Tesla. It's a star-studded lineup, but the box draw advantage is crucial in races like this, and you have it with your star sprinter Iconic Jet.
Oh, you've hit the nail on the head, Shorty. When you get into these finals, I think all the dogs that have got the similar abilities, and it just all comes down to luck in box draws. And unfortunately, it's escaped him in some other finals, especially over East. But Saturday night, he'll love that red rug on his back. And look, he's had a really good week, Shorty. He galloped really well this week, and he's right on the top of his game at the moment, this dog. And if he can lead, I know West on Sydney's very strong, but my dog's not weak, and he'll give plenty of cheek out in front. I did see there's possibly a bit of rain around again, so that probably plays into West on Sydney's favour, him being like the stronger sort of staying type of dog. But look, hopefully it's if it does rain, it's early on in the night, and we get a good track, because there's nothing better than seeing fast dogs run fast, is there, Shorty? And that field's chock talented with fast dogs, and look, we've got in the back of our minds to maybe even go and have a crack at the blacktop after this, Shorty. So hopefully all goes well when we can have a hit and run mission at the blacktop. The top three in the final of the blacktop get qualification for the semis of the MDC. So, like I said to the owners, this time next year he's probably not going to be at his best. So, why he's going good now, $1 million chase, is something we'd love to chase. So hopefully he goes well Saturday night, and we might be over in Newcastle next week.
Yeah, the Gardens there. Oh, that'd be great. And you've got to make hay while the sun shines. You've got a greyhound right now that's, as you've said, at the peak of his powers, running, track record there at Northern. The times the dog's been running have been elite. While it was only, on the clock 29.8 last week, if you had a look at the times on the night, it was actually a really hot run compared to what a lot of other dogs were running on the night. So can't wait to see Iconic. Anything else from the kennel worth following over the next little patch train?
You would think Miss Tennessee will be hard to beat. Shorty, I've nominated her for Mandra again. She's got stuck in a very fast maiden last week. But look, I think we just win a maiden and give her some confidence, and then we head back to town and try and have a crack at some city novices. No box draws out yet, but I think she'll be hard to beat on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. But looking forward to it, Shorty, this weekend. It's going to be a big weekend, and can't wait to get to Kennington Saturday night and watch that race just as a spectacle. To be great, even though we've got one in it, just to watch all them good dogs go together would be outstanding.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a highlight of not just the weekend, but probably the month, to be honest. It's a great field, and it'll be a wonderful spectacle, as you've alluded to there. Train, really appreciate your time. Stay hot, great man. The punters out there are filling right up with your handiwork, so let's hope that can continue tonight there at Mandurah, and good luck in the Spring Gift Final there. We'll hear from you tomorrow morning on the Sports Daily. Until then, many winners.
Yeah, thanks very much, Shorty, and all the best to the punters out there over the weekend. Hopefully we can get a good few winners and get the better of them. All the best.
Good man. There we have it. The Shane Train Williams with us this morning here on Great Greys, where it's now 14 minutes after 10. We don't actually have any races for broadcast through the program today in what is quite a rare occurrence here on Great Greys. We've normally got a few races that sort of step in throughout the course of the program, but the first race, I tell a lie, Tuncurry snuck in there at 10:39. For this morning. So we have got one there some 24 minutes from now. I might throw back to Matty and he can tell us the latest about that first race there at Tuncurry, and when we return we'll be catching up with Jason Campbell.
I'd love to tell you about Foster Tuncurry. It's a beautiful part of the world up north. Are you looking at tomorrow? Because I don't have it here today.
Okay, I might be. Let's have a look.
Let me have a look here. Yeah, Tuncurry's on tomorrow, Shorty. 10:39 tomorrow. Jeez.
Excellent. Oh, that's good news, because that means that...
How good are you going?
when you're getting up at 4 a.m, Matty, some weird things do happen in your world. My bad there, punters. We don't have... Our first race will be 11 o'clock, bang on 11, Hawkesbury. And I can tell you that we're down to a field of just 4 runners there. Narcissist is $1.60. Everybody Rise $2.05, and then we've got Crown Estate at 41, and He's a Steve at $41. So half the field scratched there. An odds-on favourite with Narcissist. It is race number 1 at Hawkesbury, and that will be the next race you'll hear here on TAB Radio. So we have got clear running between now and then, and Jace Campbell, I believe, is just about ready to join us.
I'm here, Shorty. How are you, mate?
I'm really well, JC. Lovely to hear your voice down the other end of the line. How's everything going over in Sydney town?
Yeah, very wet. We've had about the best part of 100 millimetres of rain over the last 24 hours, so very wet. But the forecast for this afternoon and the next 7 to 10 days or so is sunny, so spring has definitely sprung. But yeah, we just get to see the last of this winter weather, hopefully, and the warmer days are ahead.
Indeed. I was just having a chat to the train. The last meeting at Dapto tonight. There'll be a bit of a nostalgic moment, and also tinged with a bit of sadness. It's been a wonderful venue for many, many years for the Greyhound Racing fraternity.
Yeah, 100%. I saw the dogs.com.au put a little post up today. 98 years Dapto Greyhounds has been running. So I've only been around for probably the best part of the last 5 years or so, but obviously a lot of history there. I've been to a few race meetings there. Megastar there a couple of years ago when Rich Sedona won for Mark Gatt. The great Dixie Gamble's made her debut there for myself. So I've got some little small memories there, but I'm sure a lot of trainers and participants have a lot more fonder memories of the track, and obviously you'll just be sad to see it go.
Indeed, but we'll be tuned in and making the most of it and really enjoying that coverage. We'll be having a chat later on the program to Simon Orchard, who'll be heading up all the coverage of the dogs.com.au of the big farewell to Dapto later on this evening. There'll be plenty of punters there betting on your tips for tonight at Q2 and also at Hobart. Take us through your thoughts for those two programs, JC.
Yeah, I don't mind the Q2 Parklands meeting tonight. I think there's a few dogs there that represent either a bit of value or, I guess, a bit of value from the betting perspective now. I've got to kick off in race 1, playing the 7 here, Valencia Blue. She's a bitch that, if you do look at the form guide, you might say, oh, well, Jason, she's been run down on multiple occasions over the 450, how she got to win at 520. But I have seen, since the opening of the two main tracks up there, these runners, these small bitches that have a lot of speed, they are getting run down over the 457 on the big one-turn track, but when they do get to a two-turn track over the 520, they can often find the front and make their own luck. Bit of a velodrome-like circuit, the Q2 Parklands. You obviously want to be on speed there, and I think she'll get that here. She looks like the solo leader in this race. I think $5 is a very good price to kick off proceedings.
All righty, race 1, number 7, Valencia Blue to kick things off tonight for JC. The second of your key plays at the Parklands?
Yeah, once again, trying to find another leader here, and that's race 3, number 3, Villain of Magic. Makes his staying debut, and he's a runner that's in great form. He's on his last 3 on the bounce, and just last start, he beat Spiderbait by the best part of 4 lengths, and the second favourite in that race, Gold Star Ginny, in this race, tonight, she was beaten the best part of 7 lengths, and the start prior she was beaten 8 lengths by Villain of Magic. So although he does have to go to a new track and rise 70 metres, I do think he's going to be a long way out in front of her, and beat Royale last week. Looks like he's found a new home with Tom Stabelis, the former Tasmanian Greyhound. I thought he was only fair. He'd have to improve a fair bit, I reckon, to knock off Villain of Magic. So I think he can lead for us and be extremely hard to run down.
I like it. Race 3, the White Rug, Villain of Magic, and the 30 plays tonight at the Q2.
Yeah, I labelled this one the best on the program. Race 5, number 7, Nanga. I just think she has a terrific map here. The 6, Snowy War. She is often a runner that I like to have in races. Preferably when dogs are drawn outside her, they tend to get a very, very good run. She has elite box speed, but then not much else after that, unfortunately. Shorty, she's a bit of a flat spot and then comes again. I'm not sure how well she is chasing, but she's managed to have almost 100 starts in her career, so good luck to her, and well done to all the prize money they've won from her. But I think, Nanga, beautiful map here, really good form. Whiskey Service has won again since on Monday night in really fast time. So I think, Nanga gets across into second position, gets that slingshot, finds the lure, entering the first corner, and he's going to be extremely hard to run down.
All right, so race 5, number 7, Nanga for John Corrigan, with that lovely card over from Snowy War in the early stages to deliver the goods. Is that done for Q2?
All done for Q2, Shorty.
All right, well, let's head south, and as far south as we can go in this great nation, down to the Apple Isle, Tasmania tonight. We've got chasing at Hobart. The first gets underway, 5:24 Western Standard Time. Who are you liking on this card?
Yeah, I found it a really difficult program tonight at Hobart to sort of extract any value off the main sort of chances across the program. I think race 6, number 6, Times Flying, we saw her resume from a 3-month break last week in a really devastating fashion. She missed the start and still won by 10 lengths, so she's obviously going to be extremely hard to beat in that race. But $1.45 is obviously on the skinny side. I'd probably be one of those runners that you just have to wait to the last minute or two of jump. Hopefully she does get out to $1.60, $1.70, and then you might be able to nab that. She's going to be extremely hard to beat. But the only play I could find on the card, Shorty, comes up in race 8, the 1, Windburn Genie. She does drop back from the 599 metres, where I thought she was a touch unlucky not to lead the race, and if she had a lead, she might have won. And then last start against Unconvicted, she was a month between runs and just knocked up late. I think she's going to be terribly hard to beat. She's got 2 wide runners in boxes 2 and 3. And if she can just lob second or third, she's got to be the strongest late in the piece.
Alrighty, so 6 times flying for some multis, and race 8, number 1, Winburn Genie is the play down there at Hobart tonight for our man Jason Campbell. Great catching up with you as always, JC. What's the best way for our listeners to follow your handiwork?
Just over on X, Campbell Jason. I'll be dropping my preview tonight for Hobart and Q2 Parklands.
Magnificent. Thank you, JC. Appreciate your time, mate. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch up this time next week.
You too, Shorty. Good luck, mate.
There we have it. Jason Campbell, fine young man and very good judge as well. Q2 Parklands 1733, the best of them 57 Yunnan Nangar, and down in Hobart 66 for your multis, 81 Winburn Genie. Well, one man that I'm sure will have some fond memories of Dapto from years gone by. They've always raced in the slot, well, certainly in more recent times, in unison with Sandown Park in that Thursday night rotation across the tracks. And there's been many a star race at the Dapto circuit, and I'm sure Brownie will have some fond memories of the place as we farewell Dapto this evening. We welcome in the Hall of Famer Neil Brown on this Thursday morning. How do you do, Brownie?
I'm good, David. Yes, a very sad night to acknowledge the last meeting at Dapto. I was lucky enough to go there on a couple of occasions back in the 70s, and a very memorable night in the 90s, David, when I parked my family in a motel in Dapto and, joined the great Billy Maguire, Billy Dwyer, one of the absolute legends of Greyhound Racing administrators in New South Wales, and recall turning the lights off with Bill in the betting ring as we left after the last. So fond memories of Dapto. It'll be a great night there tonight with all the personalities turning up and yes, sad in a way, but a long time to race, isn't it? Almost 90 years.
No, big time, yeah. It's left a legacy, that's for sure, and it's been a staple on Thursday night for Greyhound Racing fans for a very, very long period of time. We'll make sure we make the most of it and farewell Dapto in style tonight, and I look forward to seeing all of the coverage and hearing from a lot of the big names that have cut their teeth broadcasting at the place. The great Paul Ambrosoli. It's any time he's somewhere and talking Greyhound Racing and calling a race, it is worth tuning in. So looking forward to hearing that. I think Darren Flendell's involved as well tonight, the star broadcaster that he's become after spending time in Hong Kong and now the main caller in Sydney. This sport has certainly laid the foundations for many star broadcasters in the global scene, that's for sure and certain. All right, Brownie, well, let's focus in your backyard tonight. We've got a very interesting program at Sandown. There's 12 races. The first gets underway 4:55 WA time tonight. Take us through your early quaddie and your quaddie tonight.
Yes, a few shorties on the card tonight, David, isn't there? Race 1, maiden final here over the 5:15. I'm going to take 2, 1 and 6. Very short Atari from box number 2. 30 and 24 in the heat. Very impressive. Led all the way. Very nicely drawn again. I think it should win, but we'll take the insurance there with 1 and 6. In the second, only taking the 2, 8 and 1 in the smaller field, Electrified. It's very short. 29, 24. Quick early winner here on the track in that solid time, and certainly looks hard to beat in the field of 6, David. So we'll take 8 with Like a Rock for a bit of insurance. So Electrified there. Race number 3, 5, 15-metre grade 6 here. Only going to take the 2 in the small field here of 5 runners. 6 and 8. I've got the 6 on top, Honey Rider. Looks hard to beat. Field of, as I say, the smallest field, 29-15 last start on Monday the 1st. Not a great deal of depth after that greyhound, so we'll take 6 and 8. And coming home around the early quad off in race number 4, 5-15-metre grade 5, I'm going to take 2, 4 and 8. Overland Boy also looks hard to beat, another shorty here. Nice draw. Best of the night here on the 28th of August, 29-34. He looks the leader from the box 2 draw, and I think he'll win. We'll take 4 and 8. So that's our early quad. Moving on to the main quad, these are a little bit more difficult. Race number 5, 595, mixed 4th and 5th grade. I think the winner will come from the inside, drawn 3, 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to take Turn the Tide. Short but in very brilliant form. Ballarat win and a couple at the Meadows. 3 best of the night wins from inside draws. Looks the one to beat. Peaky Joe racing well. Bumped into explicit in 2 of his last 3, and then a solid second, first up over the 5.95. And the 3, Kenya Redita, I think form's good here, 2 and 1 from 4, racing quite well at the moment. We'll take 1, 2 and 3 in the first leg of the main quad. Race number 6, I think, is a very hard race. 595 metres here for the grade 5ers. I'm going to take 4, 1, 2, 4 and 5. I've got the Do Something on top. Maybe the best drawn. Found the lead at the Meadows from box number 7, and it's one of the chances. Whiskey Ballerina, a bit hit and miss at the start. She's been okay, and certainly been a chance. Her last couple have been all right. Gary Stunnon from the 4 box. He's not the worst. A good record here of 4 and 6 from 14. His last 2 have been okay. And I think the 5's a chance. Paul Vince, last opener at the Meadows from box number 5. So 1, 2, 4 and 5 in a difficult second leg. Race number 7, grade 5, 515 metres. 3, 4 and 6 I'm going to take here. Got the 3 on top. I'm leaving the favourite out. The red, Zipping Una, won her last 3 here. In handy time, has some early pace, slow beginner in box number 2. The 4's a chance, I think. Aston Bugsy needs some luck early. A good run here at his last outing. 4 and 2 from 9 on the track. Goes okay. Good record on the track, and a good win, as I say, start before last. And number 6, a kind of Jack, the veteran. He's won 8 here on the track at Sandown. Solid last start at Warrigaley, stormed home late to get up, so we'll take 3, 4 and 6. Race number 8, round the quaddie off with a solid free-for-all. I'm going to take 2, 5 and 7, sticking with Dr. Asher. He's certainly done us no harm in recent weeks. He's in terrific form. He's won 6 of his last 7, and he bumped into Bagman's, the only loss he's had in the last 7 starts. I think he's the one to beat. He's overcome some poor starts in his last couple, so he's a good little chaser. Flying Zulu, you can't leave him out. Class performer, 10 wins here on the track. He's always a chance. And the 7, Kenya Nitrate, I think is racing quite well. Hot run here on the 1st of September, 29.15, lead all the way. And he has won 3 from box number 7, 3 from 4 starts from the 7 box. So we'll throw him in the quaddie as well, 2, 5 and 8. So interesting card, David. I didn't think they were very, very short, which is not down my alley for best bets. So I'm going to take a multi, races 1, 2 and 3, and see if we can get a little bit of value. So those are 2, 8 and 6 in a multi in races 1, 2 and 3 as our best bet tonight. See if those 3 early short ones can get home, David. So good luck and good punting, and good luck to everybody up there at Dapto. Looking forward to seeing a fair bit of the coverage tonight, as you say, with a cavalcade of superstar race callers and personalities at the track tonight.
Indeed, yeah, it'll be a wonderful farewell. I appreciate your time as always, Neil. Thanks so much for joining us on Great Greys. Have a great night this evening trackside there at Sandown. Look forward to catching up next week.
Will do, David. Thanks, mate.
There we have it, Neil Brown here on Great Greys on this Thursday morning, where it's now 29 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Well, last week we talked about a bit of excitement building across there in South Australia for the first of the finals between Collingwood and Adelaide. It didn't go to plan for Adelaide fans, with the Pies getting the better of that result. Well, I'm sure once again this weekend there'll be plenty of visitors in town from Victoria as the Hawks have a crack at knocking off Adelaide. Of course, that will be tomorrow night, the first of the 2 semi-finals from the world of AFL this weekend. But I'm sure our next guest can tell us a little bit more about the buzz around town heading into the second of these finals. We speak of Sean Matheson. A very good afternoon in your neck of the woods. Sean, how do we find you today?
Yeah, terrific, David. Great to be on the show again with you. And as you mentioned, it's back-to-back weeks of AFL in Adelaide, with much anticipation that the Crows supporters, that they bounce back and certainly don't go out in straight sets. They take on Hawthorn. I think last week's AFL across the board, it showed, the finals were fantastic, and I'm sure Friday night's game's going to be the same, probably a close game. And I suppose the history dates back to the very first game that the Crows ever played was against Hawthorn. So that's getting sort of wheeled out this week in the media, and we all know what happened there, where the Crows smashed them. So hopefully for the supporters, that's what happens this week.
Indeed. And tonight's program, if anybody is visiting South Australia, Hawks fans, I would recommend that you drop in and pay a visit to Angle Park tonight, because we've got 2 heats of the SA Oaks. We've also got 3 heats of the SA Derby, and I've drawn together a wonderful program here this evening, Sean.
Yeah, most definitely. Our Oaks and Derby series, we've sort of run this series for a number of years, and they're both on the same night, so terrific to have both sets of heats on the same night. Both finals have been increased to $50,000, so we've definitely got the best of the locals and some really nice up-and-coming sprinters from across the border, Victoria, from Darwin, and also from Tasmania, so certainly reach the breadth of Australia there to get some to get these greyhounds here to South Australia. And our series, David, are at 27 months of age. Some other sort of age-restricted races are around that 30 months, but we've stuck with the 27-month. It really gives that nice young dog a real crack at some nice money against their own age without taking on, some of the real big boys that you can see in some of these other feature events in other states.
Absolutely. Well, we'll hit you up now, and you can fill us in on who you think might be some nice plays on this program this evening.
Absolutely. So the first will come up in the first heat of the SA Oaks, which is race 3. I do like number 4, Belair Ethel, for Brendan Purcell, Victorian. She was over here last week and trialled with her kennelmate Cleo Star, which is in the second heat of the Oaks. But she ran second, running her own time of 30.55, which is quite good. And there'll be plenty of improvement there for her. And just looking at her Victorian form, she's a greyhound that can race up on speed. She ran second 2 starts ago to Mapunga Stage, who's in this race, and then was quite a strong winner. Showed good speed, was second, and then ran past the leader at the Meadows last start in a 30.16. So I just think she's got the best draw for her to show her speed and get right up on speed. And if she happened to roll to the front into the back, I reckon she's going to be really hard to catch. She's around that $3.90 mark, David, so I think that's a nice bet to kick us off.
All righty, so we'll kick it off race 3, number 4, Belair Ethel for Brendan Purcell. The second of your key plays tonight there at Angle Park.
The second will come up in race 7, and it's number 6, Dashing Geordie for Gavin Harris, the local up-and-coming star. As we all know, he's the brother of Dashing Slay, which a lot of people know nationally. But Geordie has been going super well here for Gavin Harris, particularly getting out of the boxes nice and fast. And I think that's the key for him tonight. He's going to have track experience ahead of pretty much all of his rivals in this race. Certainly the interstate rivals, none of them have really seen the track, apart from Weblet Prince, who's drawn 2, which is a nice dog. But I think just with his speed early, he was a good winner last week in 30.55, beating Mr. Peregrine, and that was at grade 5 company. So I think the key for him, nice early speed, roll to the front. He's around that $3 mark, and once he gets to the front, he's a hard dog to get past. So hopefully one for the locals there, David, in the series.
Okay, race 7, number 6, Dashing Geordie, and the final play tonight there at Angle Park.
Final play comes up in race 10, and it's number 5, Time After Time for Tim Richards. Probably one of the most open races on our card of racing. This is a Masters event, and Time After Time has been around the mark recently. It was a nice run last week in running 4th in a stronger Masters event. This is not as strong as what she faced last week. She beat 4 of her rivals home last week in the same race, but she is a greyhound. She can show a little bit of speed, but she has a little bit of a flat spot out of the front straight and into the back. But she is the strongest dog on the way home. She has always been a good middle distance greyhound. So just need that touch of luck around the first turn so she can keep her momentum into the back straight. Expect her to be charging home late, and hopefully she's close enough that she can get the job done.
Alrighty, so we have the set complete. Race 3, number 4, Bel Air Ethel. Race 7, number 6, Dashing Geordie. Race 10, number 5, Time After Time. We've also got Chasing at Gawler on Friday, the time-graded meeting at Angle Park on Saturday morning, and Murray Bridge on Sunday. Anything of note at those programs?
So just one each at each of those, David, for the listeners. So Gawler tomorrow, light race 2, number 4, Princess Tilly. She drops back to the 400 metres. She's been running at Angle Park over the 500. She's a very quick greyhound early, so I think the 400 metres does suit her really well at Gawler. Expect her to lead that race and win tomorrow. The time-graded meeting, as you mentioned, at Angle Park on Saturday morning, and I tend to look to the dogs who've drawn the red because they're such even events, and so the box draw here does matter. So I actually do like race 10, number 1, Blue Energy. He's been in quite good form in these events. He was a 1982 winner last start. So, again, drawn perfectly off the inside. Should have enough speed to lead and be very hard to beat Saturday. And then on Sunday, hopefully redemption for those who followed Sir Dodge last week, and the Greyhound was out of the placings. I like race 5, number 7, Sir Dodge. Steps up to the 5:30 this week. Again, has good middle distance form for Lauren Harris. He's a quality performer. Expect him to bounce back. Hopefully get slightly better odds that compensates for last week.
Excellent. So in recap there, Gawler Friday, 2-4, Princess Tilly. Angle Park Saturday, 10-1, Blue Energy, and coming home, Murray Bridge Sunday, race 5, number 7, Sir Dodge. Excellent work from you as always, Sean, this morning here on Great Grace. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the AFL vibe that's happening, I'm sure, across there in South Australia for this upcoming weekend, and looking forward to our chat next week already.
All right, terrific, David. We'll talk then.
Thank you. Sean Matheson with us, having a look at a big few days ahead in South Australian chasing. But those heats of the SA Oaks and SA Derby tonight are very good there in South Australia. Now, where the build-up's been big, the pump-up's been big, no doubt this man is absolutely under the pump. He'll be heading up the coverage tonight there, thedogs.com.au, for our big farewell to this wonderful track that has been Dapto. We have talked about it this morning on the Sports Daily and throughout the course of the show today, but we'll be sending it out in style, and can't wait to have a chat to Simon to find out the latest for a big night in store. Welcome to you, Simon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Shorty, or good morning over there in the west. Mate, how good is this? Feel like a kid on Christmas Day. I know some will say it's going to be tinged with sadness, but let's celebrate the good times. Almost 90 years of memories winding up tonight. The curtain will close just before 11 o'clock, and then, mate, would you believe it, we're going to let everyone on the track to take home their very own piece of Dapto. It's going to be a ripping night. So much happening, mate, so really looking forward to it.
Mate, just quickly for those of us that are here on the West Coast, and we will be tuning in tonight, thedogs.com.au for all the latest, but just give us a feel for exactly what you've got going on tonight there at the track. It's been such a significant part of greyhound racing in Australia over nearly 100 years. What can the punters that are turning up on track tonight expect to see?
We can expect the rain has dissipated. That was the big concern, Shorty, over the last 24 hours. It's been belting down, and thankfully, I'm pleased to report blue skies in Wollongong, which is where the Dapto track's located. But, mate, we've got heaps happening. Eric Gross, former rugby league great, and his band are going to be playing throughout the night. Gates open at 5:30. 7 o'clock, the first race. We've got the Dapto Megastar, of course, the Group 1 event worth $75K. That's going off in race 8 on the program. It's a ripping field. Good odds Cobber, the current favourite, and my tip on top. But look, Hotel Whiskey 1, Delicate, Sooty Keeping, Ariza Sparkles, a rising star. Skedaddle Arlo would be a hell of a story for Mark Suttle. He's been through a bad cancer battle the last couple of years, and Ruthie King's got dynamic drama. Ruthie King is Dapto, so if she wins, or if that dog wins, Ruth gets up, holy hell, the place will just about collapse. So the big race is race 8 on the card, but not only that, mate, we've got plenty of race callers coming down from over the years. Darren Flindell, Luke Marlowe, Kel O'Rourke, Russell Veach will call the main race, and a few others as well, but there's a host of callers coming down to rekindle some memories. We've got every race named after someone or a dog who has done something special at the track, so the track record holders as well as many of the administrators. I'm going to be doing special interviews on the track throughout the night after every race. We've got a token of appreciation for every race winner. We're going to auction off the Dapto winning post. And then, of course, as I mentioned, at the end of the night, if you're still around, you can take home some sand from the Dapto dogs, mate. So that's it in a nutshell. I reckon it's going to be one of the best nights on track we've seen in quite some time. They're talking about a return to the Harlequin days of the 80s and 90s where it's standing room only, and I cannot wait to get down there. I'm really excited, and I reckon everyone on track's going to have an absolute hoot, Shorty.
I think you're spot on, and I'd love to tip my hat to everyone involved. You've been clearly a massive part of it, but this place has been special to a lot of people in the sport, and it's being recognised and sent out in grand style. So well done to yourself and everyone involved in Greyhound Racing in New South Wales for doing this in such a classy manner, and I'm sure it'll be a special night. We'll be tuned into thedogs.com.au for all of that action. And look, I'll throw my hat in the ring. I'd love to see Good Odds Cobber win this race. He's been an absolute star of New South Wales chasing. He's taken his show on the road, been all over the place. We discussed a little while ago that he might be mixing a little bit of business with pleasure now later in his racing career, but he's been such a popular dog. That'd be a really popular win on track tonight, I'm sure, if Cobber could get the cash as well.
Yeah, he sure would be. He'd be the first dog in the history of the race to go back-to-back in the Megastar. It's not a race with an extremely long history. 2010 was the first edition of the race, but still, if he was to win under the new care of Jason Thompson, gee, it'd be a hell of a yarn. I actually spoke to Anthony Azzopardi this morning. He's got Hotel Whiskey 1 in box 3. He was really, really bullish on his dog, and we know Dapto favours leaders, so if he can get out, he ran 5.33 to the mark last week. He's going to be in front for a long way, but that's what I love about Cobber. He's boxed right next door. I think he can just tail Hotel Whiskey 1 into the race. And you mentioned what a star he's been. Jason Thompson hit the nail on the head when he said, look, this dog's $1 million earner, and he hasn't done it by winning $1 million chase or a $500,000 race. He's just showed up each and every week. He's travelled around the state, around the country. He's continued to put performance on top of performance on top of performance, and now he stands here tonight with a really good chance. Second up for Jace Thompson to take out this race, and he's my tip for the big one, the Megastar. But a host of good dogs going around tonight, and hopefully we can find a couple of winners for the punters as well. Yeah,
that point that Jason raised to you is 100% on the mark, and he's probably the one dog that's reminded me the most of Tommy Shelby in recent times, because a similar scenario, a prolific winner, not always necessarily the fastest time on the clock, but just such a consistent, reliable dog. Wherever he's gone, he's produced the goods against the absolute rolled gold stars of the region that he's raced against. And I think dogs like that, they traditionally have really good futures at stud. And you look at what Tommy's done at stud. I'm sure Connections will be hoping that Good Odds Cobber can do half as well as what Tommy Shelby has, and they'll have a lot of fun with him in that space. All right, Simon, I know you're busy, so we won't hold you up too long. I'll just handball across to you now, and you can take us through some of your better bets over the next few days in New South Wales chasing.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Dapto focus tonight, Shorty. Let's get 4 best bets out of the way. 2-7 Athlete Tick. It's a 300-metre race. This dog's been brilliant over the short trips for Shawnee Evans. So 2-7, the first best bet on the card. Race 4, number 6, Kenya Ponga for Ant Azzopardi. It was a really good race last week behind the Jody and Andy Lord youngster. They went hammer and tong up the back. I think Kenya Ponga at the better price, about 310, 320 is the way to go tonight. So that's 4-6 at Dapto. The main race, 8-4 Good Odds Cobber. And then I tell you what, the last ever race at Dapto, it's going to be a fitting finale. I think 12-6 Tor Major can get up for Andrew Rowe. And if that dog wins, I guarantee there'll be waterworks. Rowe used to drive the lure down there at Dapto, basically grew up on the track, and he's got 2 really good chances in the last. Either way, it's going to be a big, big moment come around 11 o'clock tonight. So there you go, the best plays at Dapto. If you want to have a play in some other $1 million chase finals over the next couple of days, Casino today, I like Integrity Shirl to get up from box 5. And at Dubbo, come Saturday night, Tracy Taro from box 2. Look, Magpie Hector is the dog on everyone's lips. He could be an absolute star. He's boxed out wide. I think Tracy Taro is going to get a good jump on him and have a handy lead. But tell you what, circle that dog's name and watch him go over the next couple of months. So there you go, Shorty. Big Dapto focus for the best bets. If you're not in the area, jump on thedogs.com.au. As I mentioned, I'll be there hosting throughout the night, and it's going to be one hell of a party, mate. I cannot wait to have a beer at the end of the night.
Indeed. I'll raise a glass for you as well from this side of the country, Simon. Well done to yourself and everyone concerned. There'll be lots of our listeners at the moment that will be having some wonderful flashbacks of some great moments from Dapto in years gone by. We'll all be tuned in tonight getting around you guys. Thanks so much for your time this morning and good luck with everything this evening.
Good on you, Shorty. Hooroo.
There we have it. Great to be catching up with Simon Orchard to round out the program for today with that really strong focus on Dapto for the Megastar final tonight. That market has good odds Cobra at $3.20, Delicate at $3.50, Sooty keeping $5.50, Hotel Whiskey 1 at $6, 7-4 Aritza Sparkles, Dynamic Drummer at $13, Skedaddle Arlo's a $17 chance, and Coast Rig is the $26 outsider of that race. But a huge night in store there at Dapto. The first race gets underway there at 6 minutes past 5. That is us done and dusted on this Thursday morning here for Great Grace. Thanks as always for your company. If you've missed any of those tips, I'll have them up on the Tab Touch blog and across our social media channels a little bit later on this afternoon. Throwback to the man that, as always, has done a superb job getting everyone up and firing for their spots on the program today. Matty McDermott, thank you, Matty. Enjoy the remainder of your Thursday, and to everybody tuned in, wishing you all many winners.